What up, Coach Colin Castelli here with Shot Mechanics Basketball, and today we got a countdown of the top 10 best ball handlers in NBA history. All right, through this countdown, you're gonna see some old school legends, you're gonna see some new school favorites, and everything in between. Now, the whole key is here, we're thinking about ball control. So this is just my personal list. You might not agree, but let me know in the comment section down below who you think I left off or where it should be switched around. So let's jump right into it.
So starting off at number 10, we've got Pete MARAVICH. Now they called Pete the Pistol, and for good reason, because his ball handling was some of the best in the league. Pete was also a trendsetter, and a lot of things he could do with the basketball nobody had ever seen before. He was truly revolutionary with the basketball in pretty much any situation, and so I felt like the list wouldn't be complete without him. Some of the things that MARAVICH was known for became everyday moves like crossovers, behind the backs, and all that sort of good stuff. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that when we do the top 10 passers list, he's probably going to be further up the list than he is here, because ball handling he was good, but it was really kind of that court vision and flair that made him super special. But with that being said, he could still handle the rock back in the day. So with that, Pistol Pete gets the countdown going. And moving on to number 9, we've got Tim Hardaway. Now, you might know Tim Hardaway Jr., who currently plays in the NBA, but Tim Hardaway Sr. was the creator of one of the all-time best double crossover moves, the UTEP two-step. I really think Hardaway's important in the history of ball handling because he kind of bridges that gap between the 80s ball handlers and the 90s ball handlers. His change of speed is some of the best that we've ever seen in the NBA, and he could use that speed to dictate the tempo and get the defense on their heels. To me, because I watched Tim Hardaway growing up, it just felt wrong to leave him off the list, so here he is at number 9. Moving on to number 8, we've got ISIAH Thomas. Now, much like Tim Hardaway, ISIAH Thomas was kind of a gap between the 70s and the 80s. His ultra-quick and aggressive ball handling style was something that the NBA hadn't seen a lot of, so it really stuck out and kind of took over. And I feel like sometimes his ball handling gets overshadowed because when we think about the bad boy Pistons, everybody thought they're just a bunch of big bruisers. But really, ISIAH's ball handling was one of the catalysts to that team's success. ISIAH Thomas helped usher in a new era of point guards, and because of that, he's on the list. And now moving up to number 7, we've got Allen Iverson. Now, Allen Iverson could be known as the king of crossover, and he's one of the first guards in that and one mixtape isolation era. He really turned ankle breaking into an art form. And when we pair his shiftiness with his relentless attack, he becomes one of the best ball handlers in the history of the league. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I was making my list, I was shocked that I put him at 7, because when you think about Allen Iverson, you think about one of the all-time best ball handlers. But that just goes to show how incredibly stacked this list is. And while Allen Iverson was a phenomenal scorer and a phenomenal attacker, I feel like his ball handling wasn't quite as good as some of the other guys ahead of him on the list. But no doubt about it, if you get between AI and the basket, he's gonna make you look silly. All right, so that brings us to number 6 on the countdown, and we've got Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul's handles might not be as flashy as some of the other guys on the list, but the reason why I wanted to put him higher up is because he's got really functional handles. He's a master at manipulating the defense with as few dribbles as possible, and that's something that I really respect as a ball handler. I love Chris Paul because he's kind of a blend of the old school ISIAH Thomas meets the new school point guard. I also love how powerful of a ball handler he is. He has very few turnovers because he's super strong and steady with the basketball, but at the same time, still being able to be shifty. Turnovers are still something that a lot of good ball handlers struggle with, and Chris Paul is the master at keeping the ball on a string and never giving it away. But it's not quite enough to crack the top 5. And to start the top 5, we've got Jamal Crawford. Now, the thing that makes Jamal Crawford so impressive is his size. He's actually really, really tall, but still one of the best ball handlers ever. In a one-on-one, break-him-down ball handling situation, there are not many people that are better than Jamal Crawford. His mix of flash, change of direction, and herky-jerky style of ball handling is something that a lot of players want to emulate, but just can't. Now, I probably would have moved him further up the list, but sometimes he has a tendency to over-dribble. I love when he starts dancing, but I wish he would make a move just a little bit earlier sometimes. But with that, you can't take away that he's one of the nastiest ball handlers of all time, and he's still doing it today. And no doubt about it, Jamal Crawford's going to keep breaking ankles till he's probably 65 years old. And moving on to number 4, we've got Stephen Curry. Now, what I really liked about doing this countdown is just to kind of see the different styles of ball handlers and how they can all be effective. And Steph Curry definitely fits the smooth style of ball handle. Watching him navigate his way through traffic is like watching a hot knife slicing through butter. It's just smooth and can't be stopped. And although he's not herky-jerky, he's still incredibly effective with his crossovers and beating his man laterally, which just goes to show there's really no right or wrong way to do it. It seems like every night he does something with the basketball that seems borderline impossible, but somehow he still pulls it off. And that's why he lands at this spot on the list. And now we're at number 3, white chocolate himself, Jason Williams. Now, I might be a little bit biased because Jason Williams was one of my favorite players growing up, and I actually wore number 55 in AAU. And the reason why I have him so far up this list is you really brought showtime and flair back to the NBA when it had kind of been gone for a little while. With J. Will, the ball was absolutely on a string, and you could tell every single time he stepped on the court. Even though he's long since retired, his mixtapes are still incredibly impressive and look like they came out of today. His style was a mix of Pistol Pete meets Magic Johnson meets Allen Iverson, and you put it all together and you get one of the best ball handlers of all time. And now up to number 2, we've got Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is in a class by himself, and I think when it comes to straight ball handling skill and ball control, he's probably the best of all time. It's unbelievable how no matter where the defenders are or where the ball is, he can always have it in full control. And he's really got a mix of everybody else on the list. He's got the smoothness of Curry, he's got the herky-jerk of Jamal Crawford, he's got the composure of CP3, he's got the flash of J. Will. Honestly, I think because of Kyrie Irving, we're really kind of reevaluating what ball handling can be as a weapon on the court, and so that's why he has to be at least the number 2 position. Kyrie is the human joystick, and I can't wait to see how much better he gets as time goes on. It's going to be unbelievable. So who can possibly be number 1? Well, it's Bob Cousy, the original Houdini of the hardwood. Now I know from a technical standpoint, he's nowhere close to as good of a ball handler as the rest of the guys on the list. But the thing that I love about Bob Cousy is he set history. He began doing things on the court that people didn't even know could exist. Things like behind the backs, no-look passes, spin moves, all that type of stuff. And although you might have a better left-hand dribble than he did, I still had to give him the nod at number 1 just for being the OG of handle and giving us the path that we're on today. Because after all, he started the tiny snowball rolling downhill that turned into an avalanche that's now getting us guys like Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, and Chris Paul. So I know I'm probably going to get some hate for this pick, and some of you are going to probably hit the thumbs down button, but that's okay, because I got to show Bob Cousy the respect.
All right, if this video helped you out, go ahead and hit that like button down below, and then into the comment section down below that and let me know what sort of video you want to see next. This is a channel for the people, by the people, and I run pretty much everything out for requests, so leave it down below and hopefully we get to it. And if you're new to Shot Mechanics, you're going to want to do 2 things. Number 1, click that subscription button down below, because we put out videos every week and they're all going to get you better, I guarantee it. The second thing you're going to want to do is click the button above or the link in the description to get a free copy of my number 1 scoring workout. This scoring workout is probably going to change the way you think about your training, and it can increase your scoring average the very first time you use it. That's how powerful it is. Again, I'm Coach Colin Castello with Shot Mechanics Basketball. Thanks for watching, and until next time, splash on.